So this video is about radian measure as opposed to degree measure. So let's start out by talking about pi, which we know is approximately equal to 3.14. And what that has to do with is the diameter of a circle, the distance across, how many times the diameter fits around the circumference of the circle. So if you use this as a measuring tool and tried to fit this diameter around the circle, it would fit 1, 2, 3, and a little bit more. So that's the 3.14. So it's the circumference of a circle divided by the diameter, always equals 3.14. The symbol comes from the Greek alphabet, and it's just a random symbol that was chosen to represent 3.14. And whenever we see pi, we think of the circumference divided by the diameter as being 3.14. Okay, so circles have 360 degrees. So as you travel around creating this angle here, we start at 0, we move up to 90 degrees, 180 on this side, 90 and 90, 270, and then all the way around is 360 degrees. That's a complete rotation. And so that's degree measure. But you can also measure the distance around a circle or angle measures in something called radians. And radians come from the word radius. So a radius is half of a diameter, halfway across. So if we use the radius as a measuring tool and we try to wrap this around the circle, it would fit 1 here. This is called 1 radian. This would be 2 radians. This would be 3 radians. Oops, that's a little off. And then there's a little space left over. And so this is the 3.14 again, or pi. So here pi represents the number of radius or radians that fit around half a circle is exactly pi. So we would call this pi radians. 1 radian, 2 radian, 3 radians, and then 3.14 radians, or pi. If we continue all the way around the circle, eventually we'll be back to another pi, so we call this 2 pi, which is equal to 360 degrees. So radians is another way of measuring the distance around a circle, or angle measures. If we think of this as an angle here, 1 radian. Any calculator converts between radians and degrees, so you have a button that says rad and another one that says degrees. So you have to make sure that when you're calculating something, you're in the right mode. And just to show you how you can split up the circle. So if you were to split half a circle into 4 pieces, each would be 45 degrees. Right? 45 and 45 is 90, and 90 and 90 is 180 from here to here. Because you split this pi into 4 equal pieces, we would call each piece pi over 4. So in radians, we would call it pi over 4. In degrees, we would call it 45 degrees. But they're the same thing. They're just a different measurement, like Celsius and Fahrenheit. 2 different ways of measuring the same thing. 2 different measuring systems. You could also take a circle and split the 180 into 3 equal pieces, which would be 60, 60, and 60, which is 180. So 60 degrees, or pi divided by 3. Each piece is called pi over 3. So this would be 1 pi over 4, 2 pi over 4, which is just pi over 2. If you reduce it, that's 90 degrees. 3 pi over 4, and then 4 pi over 4. We wouldn't call it 4 pi over 4 because 4 over 4 just equals 1, so we just call it 1 pi. Okay, 4/4 is 1 whole. So these are radian measures. Notice that pi over 3 is 60 degrees. If I were to take that same circle and split it into 6 equal pieces, each one would be 30 degrees, or pi over 6. So 1 pi over 6, 2 pi over 6, 2 pi over 6 you would reduce and get pi over 3, because that would be 30, and 30 would be 60. So you have 30 degrees is pi over 6, 60 degrees is pi over 3. 45 degrees, pi over 4, and these are worth memorizing. I think that's about it, and this is just a video to sort of introduce the concept of radian measures. And so you're using the radius as a measuring tool to measure the distance around the circle, or arc lengths. These are called arc lengths, or the angle measure. Okay, radian measures.